by the end of next summer, so there's 2 transfer windows, I think, I hope Chelsea will have the exact squad they want, and every player will have their place, know their ranking in the squad, like, you know, what part, B team, A team, and, you know, belief maybe they can break into it, or know their place, or maybe they're a youth player and they're going to go elsewhere if they do well. I think we'll find that harmony. Comparatively to the Graham Potter season, we're already like a freaking tranquil meditation center in terms of harmony. There's a little bit more to be done, and maybe a couple of players still want to go, and we're going to get into it.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
So wagwan my gangsters, and welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and I do hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Yes, Chelsea news of sorts. I want to reference the article done by GQ on, it was both on Kobbie Mainoo and Cole Palmer, but a little bit on Cole Palmer because he is our superstar, and the young Englishman has given some insight to his transfer to the Magnificent Blues, and I'm interested to learn that, of course. And as well, Manchester United have been linked with Nkunku and Ben Chilwell. I think we could even talk about Chilwell to United as a wingback. Could work. But Dewsbury Hall, Maresca's boy, already being linked with a Chelsea exit. We'll speak about that as well, man. Lots to get into. Actually, I did do a video earlier today on the second channel, speaking of Chilwell and left wing back for England. Thomas Tuchel's starting lineup for England. It's on the second channel, Football Yannick on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Football Yannick. So lots of content out there for all you mandem, if you fancy it. You know, it's there, it's available. All right. We'll do the Dewsbury Hall story afterwards and maybe speak about Nkunku and Chilwell to United. Man United, of course, do go for the odd Chelsea player. Well, Mason Mount being the obvious high-profile recent transfer. Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic. There's lots. So there's lots of things. It's a well-trodden path to go and get that big payday up north at Crisis, at the theatre of Crisis. What was the Peter Dewsbury line about Mason Mount? The boy who had a dream, who moved to the theatre of dreams, who's now having nightmares. Poetry. Superb. This is the article from GQ. It's about Kobbie Mainoo and Cole Palmer. They're just getting started. Naturally, this being a Chelsea channel and wanting to talk about Cole, we will only talk about Cole. But I wanted to show you the reference there. He does give some insight about... they've got really good bromance, actually, them two. They play paddle and tennis all the time. It's nice. Obviously, and I hate to say this, both boyhood Man United fans... But, you know, you can't have it all. So we're going to reference this part of the article here, which is saying Cole speaks about him. Yeah, let's just go through it together. Why the ruddy heck not, eh? Cole. It seems odd to think now, but Cole Palmer's miraculous season almost didn't happen. I wasn't even going to go to Chelsea, Palmer says. I got persuaded. He nods towards his manager. I mean, his manager must have been Maurizio Pochettino, so I guess this was done when for last season, I guess? But no, maybe? I don't know. No, because they're referencing the summer tournament, so maybe they were just talking about Poch. There was a picture of him or something. That was an interesting one, I don't know. What he did know for sure is that he wanted to leave Manchester City, the club that nurtured him since he was 7. He said this: I just knew I wasn't going to play as much as I wanted to. Even when I was going to England camps with the younger age groups, you just had to be there if you were playing in the league every week. And you're looking around thinking, I can play in the league. He'd already known on social media for his dry humour. Understated delivery sums up with a shrug. When you're not playing, it's annoying. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Palmer's been in loads of memes since for his, like, not insulting. Like, I think Haaland was quite insulting early doors with his short, dry responses. But Palmer, it's quite, there's something quite endearing about it, you know? Do you know what I mean? We were talking at a hotel close to the Chelsea training ground in Cobham, Surrey, where Palmer had been dutifully signing kits and merchandise for competition winners. This is, of course, a less glamorous side of the job. Given his newfound love for paddle, I'd assumed he was there for the hotel's court. When I told him they had a paddle court, he lit up. What? They've got paddle here? Simple pleasures for young Palmer. Palmer eventually joined Chelsea on deadline day for 40 million quid. Pep Guardiola later claimed that Palmer had been agitating for a move for 2 years. Palmer said, no, do you know what? I just wanted to go on loan. But when it became clear that he wasn't going to be among City starters, even after the departure of Riyad Mahrez, of course, went to Saudi, he decided to leave to place faith in himself. Yeah, good. He said, I remember training on a Wednesday at City in the afternoon and the news they were trying to agree a fee, he says. Every time the ball went out, I'd ask the kit man or the doctor if they'd agreed a fee yet. I suppose he's following Fabrizio Romano as well, right? But the deal, because you think about it, like, these stories don't get leaked by the players. They get by the agent, and the agent's going to pick a good time to tell the player. So probably a lot of the time they find out just as we do, right? So I didn't really get a chance to see many people and say that I'm going. I just had to get my stuff. That's the mercenary reality of football, guys. At the top level, no goodbyes except what can be said over text. He said he messaged the group chat saying, thanks for everything, I'm gone. That was it. It's like in the famous Eden Hazard Chelsea exit, wasn't it? He's like, I love you, bye. And then left the chat. When Emerson Palmieri said that, didn't he? He was like, and then he was just gone. Heavy, bro. And yeah, I mean, yeah. During that first half of the season, Palmer's performances for Chelsea went from, maybe this kid can play, to City were silly to sell him, to, okay, where did this guy come from? He watched the growth of the discussion around him online, and he says this, I'd see people saying, like, he's just in good form. Then I think after the first England camp where I was a bit quiet, people were saying this was always going to happen. But then I just picked up and went even better. Played Middlesbrough at home, played Everton, United at home, and I just kept scoring. Yes, you did. As weeks passed and winter turned into spring, Palmer kept scoring. Penalties, sure, as his teammate Noni Madueke put it. That's why they call him Cole Palmer, innit? But also sweeping assists and goals of ridiculous skill, like the mazy, humiliating pass and move goal he scored against Everton. He says, I know I could do it, but for it to happen so fast, I surprised myself, yeah. Yeah. The article goes on, I reckon you guys go and see it. There's a funny little bit here. Over time, the league eventually got wind of his exploits. His DMs would light up with massive missives of support. David Beckham messaged me, he said. I scored one day and I saw him in my DMs. Were you the right age to watch, Beckham? Not really, I was a bit young. He also talks about the attention he says was unsettling. It was strange. When I first would score or something, I'd be like proper gassed and excited. I'd look at my phone, but now the more it's happened, I realise people just talk and I don't read into it. Thanks to his lively persona rapping on his sister's TikTok to Vibes Cartel or joining the opposite team's huddle at the Man City game, Palmer became something of a meme player and the subject of countless YouTube mashups. He says sometimes it's annoying to keep seeing yourself. There he is, looking great in GQ. Obviously, like Chippy Chips and, you know, Palmer Core, like the simple stuff, and, you know, you got done with the England chill cold celebration that looks like him going down a slide. But it's been an amazing story. It's great. I'd recommend you guys reading this. I'm not overly interested in the Kobe Mainu side. I mean, you know, I'm sure United fans and indeed football fans are, but they're really good mates and they speak together quite fondly. So, yeah, the story behind Cole Palmer, Guardiola said he wanted to leave for ages. Palmer said he didn't want to leave, he just wanted to play, and if that comes for a loan, he would have liked a loan. But Man City were like, nah, bruv. And thank fudge for that, because, oh my word, what a blessing. Incredible. I know he's quiet last couple of games, but he's still an absolute superstar. Let's move on. Speaking of Manchester-based stories, caught offside. Here they are. Manchester United on full alert for surprise Premier League midfielder. That is Kieran transition. Just having a transition in there. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Manchester United, Tottenham, and Newcastle. These are big clubs. minus Tottenham, are reportedly among the clubs interested in signing Kieran Dewsbury Hall. The 26-year-old only joined Chelsea from Leicester in the summer and initially looked like an exciting signing. He was out before Neto. He was our high-profile signing, and for me, that wasn't exciting. I got nothing against the lad. I think he's talented, but he doesn't look like this player that's going to link up Maresca ball that we all thought maybe he would be. And he followed, of course, Maresca from Leicester. However, it hasn't worked out well for Dewsbury Hall so far, and the Daily Briefing now reports the Englishman could be already allowed to leave Chelsea. Well, he's in like the B- team, because the B team that started against freaking Noah. Wait, did he start against that? I think he might have started against. Did he? I'm not even sure he did. Yeah, he might have. But a lot of the B team, in the B team, just quickly, obviously, he's not a forward, he's not a backliner. At the moment, it's like Enzo Fernandez with like Renato Vega or something. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I swear he's not even got into some of the B teams recently. Oh yeah, we tried to play him at right wing to accommodate him, and that didn't work. Easy for me to say. New United manager Ruben Amorim could perhaps do well to strengthen his midfield with the aging Christian Eriksen, surely not likely to be a key player. Even if Dewsbury Hall has been disappointed. What happened about Mason Mount? Somebody think of Mason Mount. It could be that he still has what it takes to make it a top club after showing such impressive potential during his time at Leicester. KDH was a real assist machine for Leicester in the Championship, but also previously showed his talent in the Premier League as well. Newcastle would also, he feels like a Newcastle signing to me, would also surely look at this player and could improve their midfield, and if he's available on loan, that should be seen as a low-risk deal. Yeah. Some Chelsea fans may be disappointed, however, that Dewsbury Hall hasn't had much of a chance to show what he can do since signing in the summer. Maresca has worked with him before, so the link-up looked like it made sense for everyone involved, but he might not want to wait for too much longer for change. Right. Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Because Maresca seems to trust him less than all these other players, and he should be trusting him the most to know the football. I think he's just got better players. Enzo Maresca, I think he's just got better footballers available to him in these positions, and that's why we're playing better than Leicester did and playing in different ways. I think Andre Santos is a more important midfielder than Kieran Dewsbury. It costs 30 million quid. I think he's definitely in the wage structure. It's not like we're paying him silly money, but I think you're gonna make the money back on him. Oh yeah, he's selling for 27 million quid with the after a year in the contract or whatever. I think he's a good player, by the way. I'm not trying to push him out. And he seems like an absolute top boy, like really good lad. You hear the way you hear him talk with the lads. He seems intelligent. He seems buzzing to be at Chelsea. I'm not trying to flog him out the door immediately, but I think he'd love it at Newcastle, starting at St James's Park every week and being cheered and all that kind of stuff. I just think, look, if Daddy Maresca, who you worked with last season, isn't somehow getting you in the B team like friggin' frequently, then you got troubles, man. You got problems, bro. You got problems, especially when we've got attacking midfielders like Pais, Esteban Willian coming in. We've got functional midfielders like Santos coming back. And I worry for the lad. Vega looks like he's really functional in the midfield. We're starting to invert fullbacks into the number 10 positions rather than in the CDM positions, like something. Not sure we all agree with that, but that's something that's happening. So let me know what you think about Kieran Dewsbury Hall being sold already. I don't think anyone's going to cry for him, but it seems like a silly signing. And it's being billed. It was briefed as not a Maresca signing, even though it would seem so obviously for all the reasons a Maresca signing. He had him last season. We've lost Conor Gallagher. He's a midfielder. Do you want him? You can have him. But it's like now he's looked at the squad. He's looked at how he wants to play. I just think maybe it was a Chelsea signing, and not a Maresca, because it's like, look, we got you this guy. You know this guy. This guy? And this guy's like buzzing. And he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. And he's buzzing to be here. don't think it's going to work out. Maresca, Dewsbury Hall, possibly. But speaking of Man United, other players that have been linked, Ben Chilwell and Nkunku. So I've spoken about this kind of at length in different videos, but just a bit quickly. I would be sad to see both of them go, right? But both of them could do really well there for a multitude of reasons. First of all, Amorim's coming in and he plays a wing-back system. Ben Chilwell. Your time, your calling is there. Your best mate, Mason Mount, is there. He might be sitting on the bench. Although Mason Mount might be playing on the inside forwards. Who knows? But the width is held by the wing-backs. He is a left wing-back. Luke Shaw doesn't ever play football anymore. And despite everything, Ben Chilwell is a fit footballer now. It's hard to believe. He did play a couple of minutes against Barrow, but he didn't come on against Noah, a game where we were 8-0 up with quite a significant few minutes to go. If you don't come on then, you're not going to play in a Chelsea shirt ever again. It's very sad. I love Chile, man. I love him. But yeah, I get it. He's just not an inverting fullback and he never will be, and that's totally fine. And what's most important is Chelsea win and we're good again. I'll always forever be thankful for his contributions to us and winning our second European Cup and how important he was. So, Chile, it would hurt me if... I'd love for him to just go to do a Conor Gallagher and Atletico Madrid. All of them. Nkunku... I haven't got a sentimental connection with Nkunku like I do Ben Chilwell because Nkunku hasn't done anything for Chelsea. It's not his fault. He's injured. But that's just how it goes. I do think Nkunku's possibly the best finisher at Chelsea. I do think, like Chilwell, he's not as hard as Chilwell, but he's hard to fit in. And I think Nkunku would probably do very well at Manchester United, playing as a maybe an inside forward if there's a slightly more offensive one and a more reserved one. That would work really well for Amorim. And again, for different reasons, not for sentimental reasons like Chile, but for giving a really good player to Man United who've got a really good up and coming manager, that would hurt more because Nkunku's 20, he's turning 27 or he's 27. That is prime. He could go to Man United, be sick for 4 seasons, and then Man United fans would be like, I can't believe you sold us Nkunku. Even though the reality is, he might have just done better there than here because of the systems they play. Tough. Anyway, what do you think? Comment down below your thoughts on everything I've spoken about in today's video. Thanks for joining me. It's very kind of you. Let's see if we can get to 190,000 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. It's very close, actually. I think it might be 80 off. So just subscribe, yo. That's dope if you can. My stream deck is not working. Right. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.